Hi guys. So I've been asked a couple times about how I make over-the-knee boots that are also armored, and I'm still able to sit in them. So it's easier for me to just show you my construction rather than try and make a tutorial, because the tutorial is so stupidly simple that it's better if I just point and tell you what I did than try and make illustrations out of it. So this is my Ion boot, which is the most recent piece of armor that I made, and it's basically just it's like thigh to toe foam. And this is the knee portion, and it goes basically up to my mid thigh, a little under my mid thigh, so it's a pretty high boot in the front, but I can still sit in it. And the reason I can still sit in it is because even though the front goes up to my thigh, the back ends at my knee. The back ends right underneath my knee. So there's nothing stopping my knee from bending. The front part moves with the front of my knee, and the back of my knee isn't jammed up. Because when you're making things and you need to think about sitting, I think it's tempting to think about the front of your knee, but that's really not how your leg bends. You need to think about the back of your knee. That's where things get locked out with armor. So basically, if you just leave the back of your knee open, you can sit no problem. And I do this with pretty much every over-the-knee boot. It works with Worbla too. So it doesn't matter how stiff the front armor is, the trick is in the back. So this is Cullen's boot. It's a little over my knee. I think it probably comes like 5 inches over my knee. So this is Worbla, and it's directly over my kneecap, and it just moves nicely with my knee. But the back of the boot ends 5 inches lower than the rest of the boot, and that lets me sit and run. These are pretty comfortable boots for as ridiculous as they look. And no one can tell, because you really never look at the back of a costume. Same thing goes with Miranda. Her boots come up to pretty high on the thigh. They're stupid looking. This comes up probably 8 inches up on my thigh, and is dumb. But it's made of craft foam, so the front of it moves with my leg, and when you flip it around, the back ends a good 8 inches below it and sits, again, right underneath my knee, like right over top of my calf. So the back doesn't even have to move with the rest of my leg. All that matters is the front. And I even do it when the armor isn't attached to a boot itself, like with Hawks. So with Hawk, I just wear regular boots, and then my armor is completely detachable from the boot. So this is the lower leg piece, and this is the knee piece. And when they sit together on your leg, they pretty much read as one giant leg piece, but they're removable. And I can still sit pretty easily in it, because this goes all the way around my calf, but where the joint matters, this just sits on the front, and the back is cloth and moves with my knee. And regular boot companies do this too. Like, this is my most comfortable pair of boots. These are what I usually wear to work. And I also wear them for Kylo Ren and Hux. And they're so comfortable because they're over-the-knee boots, and they fit right over my knee. But I can still run in them and sprint when I have to, because the front part is decently stiff leather, but the back is like scuba material. So the back really just forms with my leg and moves with it. So I can sit no problem. So like, this is something that boot companies know, and it's a technique that is legitimate and people do it. So don't be like, oh no, I'm cheating on my boot. No, there's no such thing as cheating with cosplay. And I do something similar with my elbows too, usually. If I need to make elbow cups, these are Knit Commander Meredith's. So they read beautifully from every angle I need them to read. But oh look, the back is flexible, so that it just scoots right over my elbow, and I can bend my elbow without having to worry about locking out the inside of my joint with a giant piece of armor. So yeah, if you're having mobility problems, look at where the inside of the joint is getting locked out of, and see how you can fix it and make it more flexible. And I know someone is probably like, but Arcady, what about game accuracy and screen accuracy? Okay, every piece of armor and boot I've showed you is from a video game. And video game designers are great at making things look pretty. They're not great at making things practical, though. Accuracy is all well and good until it stops you from functioning. I love aiming for accuracy, but when I got to something like Cullen's boot, there was no way that boot was going to go all the way around my leg. I didn't want it to. I didn't want to have to deal with that all day. And no one's going to look at the back of my knee. No one's going to look at the back of my knee. So if anyone would give you shit over 2 inches on the back of a piece of armor that exists purely for your comfort, if they give you shit over that, they're an asshole. Just plain and simple. If you're doing something that is for your comfort to enable you to sit on a long con day, or something to help your elbow move so you can drink water on a con day, awesome, perfect, do that. And anyone who would tell you otherwise, you don't need them in your life. So always take basic comfort over 100% accuracy if your costume is keeping you from functioning through 8 hours. So that's my spiel on accuracy and how to sit with boots. It's really, really simple. It's really just a basic cheat of take the back of the knee out of the boot, and then you can do anything. So I hope that helps. You can use it, do it. It's like hardly even a tutorial thing that I've come up with, so like steal the idea and go with it. I hope it helps and lets you sit, because sitting is very important.